Hi Sagittarius, here is a general look at your solar chart for May 2014, and we are still in the zone of the Grand Cross, as it's been called, or as I might call it, the two working triangles in the skies that were building up over the back end of March and very much there over April, particularly from the middle onwards, and then will be petering out over the first part of May. But that does mean that Jupiter is going to be opposite Pluto over the first part of May, and this is what I want to look at for you, because Jupiter is your ruling planet. So anywhere Jupiter goes has implications for what may be happening for you in a more personal kind of way. And of course the planets are going to be affecting us all, but this is your ruling planet. So until next July, which is fast approaching, isn't it? Jupiter has since last year in fact been putting a more beneficial emphasis onto your joint financial area. There's been opportunities there materially, allowing your life to grow. If you've been picking up on that invitation from the universe and doing whatever is necessary to go with the flow of this energy, which has been around since last July, August time, allowing your life to grow materially, financially, because of a collaboration that you're in, or a relationship that you're in, a partnership that you're in, meaning more money, possessions, resources of various kinds, property can be coming your way. And it just might mean a different financial strategy for you. It can also mean a lessening of debts because debts are repaid, or just a lessening of financial pressure on you. And then that allows you to feel freer and more expanded, which is the Jupiter card. You know, Jupiter is about expansion and freedom and potential abundance. If we play that card really well, then that abundance can be made available to us. But what I want to look at is the Jupiter opposite Pluto thing that's going on here over April and over the first half of May. So if you're listening to this in April, you'll be in that, along with the other interesting aspects going on in the sky. But you as a mutable sign aren't really right in the thick of it, although you might have cardinal signs in your natal chart. So basically, what do you have to let go of? What do you have to chuck out? What do you have to say goodbye to in order to expand into fresh territories? That would be one way of getting at this Jupiter-Pluto thing, that question. What lengths would you have to go to and really it's a feeling of sometimes it's a feeling of sadness at having to say goodbye or to let go of something. But what would you have to let go of like that, in that sort of way, which kind of twists you inside a little bit, for you to more fully inhabit the self that you are now becoming, you know. This is, anyway, these are the kinds of questions. It might be materially, it might not be, but it might. It might be property, it might be a financial arrangement or setup, it might be certain resources which you've just gotten used to, you know, better the devil you know than the devil you don't know, sort of thing. But the thing about Pluto is that Pluto is in an area of your chart where you're learning how to shift your priorities, shift your values, the things that you held of highest value to you and most worth to you, maybe materially, maybe not. maybe spiritually, maybe in emotional ways. In the past, those things that you held in highest regard in the past is putting at the top of your list. Pluto has been working away there in that sector, getting you to find the truth. Pluto just loves to drill down intensely to the truth of something, to the root of something, to the root causes, to the root meaning, to the underlying meanings, the subtexts there. So you could very well have been shifting slowly in your opinion about what is of most value to you at this stage in your life. You know, it depends on how old you are. So this is what this is about a little bit. The Jupiter opposite Pluto time is in order to broaden those horizons and be in that freer environment. What now do you actually have to sort of really bite the bullet to let go of? Because even though you used to hold it in the highest regard as the highest value to you, you're just doing it out of habit now. And, you know, others might not want you to do that. There might be manipulation going on. There might be power games. There might be emotional blackmail, because that all comes in the like the sort of the flight path of Pluto, very much so. And also there can be this feeling of having to watch your back around finances as well, because there's something there that is slightly secret or kept away from you, some sort of underworld element. You know, it's just under the table a bit. You're not quite knowing what it is, or maybe you do know what it is. Anyway, so you could be coming up against this Jupiter-Pluto opposition, and really the pass, the ticket, the token that gets you through the gate into this area where you can grow and expand more, and you know, learn more, and maybe be more visible in the wider world. And even when Jupiter does leave there in July, it's going to be even more of that kind of thing, but you're in the learning stage now. Then that's the ticket. You know, what do I have to let go of? Is it my own approach? Is it my own standpoint? Is it an old agreement? Is it an old pattern? What is it? Is it material, or is it material things around me, you know? So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. And also, yeah, and I should really say which part of your sign. So this is going to be for you, Sagittarius, feeling it the most, born 4th to the 6th of December. 12 to 14 degrees rising, but the whole sign feels it. The whole sign, just in slightly lessening degrees as it goes up from that real hot point there. And also I want to mention Neptune. Neptune is for many years in your home area, and so this is where you are at your most you're at your most compassionate and loving and serving to others. That's the family, that's maybe people in your extended family. This is also, though, where you can have the wool pulled over your eyes. This is also where you can be taken advantage of. This is also where really you have to separate the needy from the greedy. Tough call, because they are often people who have been in your life for a long time, you know, that you rate. But that, you know, there are some elements there that just you've got to try and facilitate them, but don't lose the thread of yourself. You know, don't lose the thread of what you want. And also, it might be literally about property. You know, and you might be having to sacrifice a certain amount because of a property or a location. That's another way that one can work. But anyway, you Saggies born around about the 28th to the 30th of November, or with 6 to 8 degrees Sagittarius rising, going to feel that energy the most this month. And actually, again, the same thing, you know, it affects the whole sign. in lessening degrees. So anyway, where's the sun? The sun's in quite a service-orientated area until the 21st. It's about, you know, being productive, being effective in this world, and just getting on with it, rolling up the sleeves and getting organized, getting the act together. Maybe being aware of health issues there. For some, you know, can be for yourself, can be for somebody else that you are, that you know, and just dealing with the to-do list. There can be quite a lot of chat about this, you focusing your mind in that kind of work mode, and that's up until the 8th. And thinking about the mechanical details of life, so maybe, you know, on running repairs, maintenance, that kind of thing, but also daily tasks, you know, what with schedules and that type of thing. But then Mercury moves out of there on the 8th, and for nearly the whole of the rest of the month, Mercury's in an area which is very much about you interacting in a close one-to-one way with others. Bouncing ideas, but also if you do work one-to-one, then that's going to be you being more articulate, you being seen as the information giver, the advisor, the mentor, or you in fact consulting with somebody else yourself. So it can be either way around, but it helps you very much to sharpen up your mind, clarify your ideas, even if you don't agree with, you know, the other person. You're just gathering information through another person, and you are going to be benefiting from that. Then we've got Venus beaming a very friendly light into the root of your chart, and this can manifest in various ways, but it encourages a really harmonious home environment, a kind of a closeness there with nearest and dearest and family members and so on. And you may be harking back to the past, maybe, you know, appreciating the ancestry, the traditions of the family, the tribal connections, that kind of thing. But that's only the first 3 days, and then the rest of the time, well, nearly the whole of the rest of the month is taken up with Venus being in quite a fun area. You can express yourself in a kind of self-conscious kind of a way. You get more opportunities to do that, you know, and there's could be closer connections with children, young people, pets, partners, and for some there's going to be, you know, a romantic relationship putting a smile on your face, or just a relationship putting a smile on your face. But also this can link you to anything, any activity, leisure activity or whatever that you find empowering, you just get a lot out of. And then the sun moves on the 21st, and that means it's not a time for you to be going it alone. That's when there's this, again, this very strong energy. That's when the sun comes into the same area as Mercury has been since the 8th. So these are kind of useful communications. A lot of this month is like not just theoretical, abstract playing with theorems and hypotheses, but actually, you know, walking the talk, really, you know, doing the talk, but also walking the talk in practical, useful sorts of ways. And supporting each other as very much of the feeling of mutual interaction and mutual support, whether that's in your personal life or in your professional sort of role. And then, of course, there's Saturn in this background area, meaning that you have to be there as a support. You're beavering away behind the scenes. It can be quite a tough ride sometimes. You can feel a bit sorry for yourself, but you are trying to tie up loose ends from the past. That's what you are about with Saturn here, and facing up to habits and behaviors which are not doing you any favors, that are counterproductive, even getting sucked back into an old habit, you know, which would not be a good idea, but maybe you just had to give it one last sort of knock on the head before you do move on. And this is very much in preparation for when Saturn moves into your sign at the end of 2014. Sagittarius, Mars is in a very progressive area of your chart, connecting you with working within groups or for groups or through groups, very much sort of technical field, this area that Mars is in. So it might be to do with the internet. You might be having more connection with the internet and the paraphernalia that goes along with the internet. And others see you as the initiator, others see you as the decision maker, others see you as being out there in the lead. They kind of look to you for that. And you can feel a bit competitive, but sometimes, because Mars likes a little bit of competition and a bit of a row, but also you can be very much on the ball here with people who've got interests in common. And maybe, you know, if because Mars likes to make decisions and initiate things and likes to be entrepreneurial in this very progressive area, maybe you are yourself generating something which brings people together somehow or other. Maybe you are the generator of it. Maybe if you are the underling somehow or other in this kind of setup, you really would rather prefer to be the creator of it, the generator of it. And with Mars there, go for it, really. Also, friendships can be quite productive and sort of lively, and you could be making new friends at this time. But Mars does like a good row, so there can be crossed swords, and you might have to be very sort of use your Saggy wisdom there to just kind of be circumspect and only shoot one of those arrows which can kill with a look, or whatever, you know, when you absolutely have to, because this is a phase when you can really get the ball rolling, and you can really enjoy kind of running with that ball. And expect the unexpected along the way. This is when the least expected things can be happening. And I think actually that's it for May. So if you know your rising sign and your moon sign, listen to the forecast for those. And also, if you want to see this written, it's written up on my website with, I think I've more or less covered actually, but there will be some dates of birth in your sign you'll see on my website. I've left which planets may be affecting which dates of birth in your sign there. And I wish you well. See you the next time.